Oh boy, anyone else survived through that snooze fest that was the keynote for AMD? Only thing remotely exciting was their 9050X 3D, and that's pretty much all they really went into detail for. So y'all better than this. Come on, get rid of the AI and give us more meat and potatoes. Everyone's your boy Lot Tech back at it again. Got more CS stuff for you. This time we can talk about and focus on the AMD keynote, which was probably right after Intel the most boring one, with a few things that were kind of like something that we can actually look forward to. The biggest announcement was, of course, as we expected, the 9950X 3D, the 16-core X3D V-Cache model, and they went some detail about it, about the improvements they made, but then they just silently listed the 9900X 3D underneath it. And unfortunately, there's no launch date yet. All they give us is Q1 2025. That could be anywhere from now till May. No specific details. So it was kind of a slogfest. I guess you could say anything else remotely exciting about it was their new laptop lineup with their new chips, the AI chips, the AI300, whatever Pro Max that I mentioned, they're going to put in the laptops, and probably the Z2 APUs for the chips, the handheld chips, for the handheld game consoles. But nothing really that really jumped out outside of the 9950X 3D. And to make things worse, they didn't even go into detail. They briefly mentioned, like, for 2 seconds, oh, we have RDNA4 coming, but didn't give you any details, any performance numbers that they usually do. And the Dr. Lisa Su herself didn't even come up on this CES coverage at all. So I don't know, maybe she had other more important things, or she wasn't confident in the product yet, because they waited to the private press information meeting after the keynote to give reviewers any sort of more meat and potatoes about the models and more details on RDNA4. So it seems suspiciously hush-hush how they went about this, especially the CEO not even talking like she usually does every other year at CES. So it really draws a question mark to a lot of us, wondering what they're hiding, or a lot of people are writing up to, like, we were waiting to see Nvidia's pricing for their GPU, since they came out later in the evening with their keynote, which is a possibility. But if they could mention that when they were asked directly, I could understand. But they just straight up said, oh, we were pressed for time and we had too much stuff to talk about AI wise. So, like, AI again, like it did last year, is taking over CES coverage, and the more important things like the GPUs and more details of the CPUs and launch dates and all that good stuff, they refuse to mention. They give you very vague relaunch timeframes, and it didn't seem, even the speakers didn't seem pretty confident, and the room kind of was dead when they were talking to the audience about what they have coming. I'm sure they would have got more of a buzz if they did mention more details about RDNA4, and even mention more details like they did for the 9950 to the 9900X 3D, which they didn't. So there are a lot of missing puzzle pieces that I usually cover for every other CES in the past. They didn't do. Different speakers, even the speakers didn't seem sure what they were talking about. Try to drop some jokes that were kind of corny. So it was a sad showing for what we are accustomed to seeing for AMD's CES coverages. And we had to find out for other third-party reviewers about the more information that I got for RDNA4. Still, even they didn't get any hard code release dates. So it begs the question, the only word of confirmation we got is that they're going to be 16 gigs of VRAM. They're going to have the 9070 and 9070 XT that they compared briefly on their slide on the keynote, that's supposed to be perform on par with the last gen 7900 XT, but everything was kind of empty above the 700 XT chart. So I don't think they're going to have anything hard to go against the 5080 or the 5090 that Nvidia announced, which is kind of disappointing. But they already told us last year that we're going to try to get back some market share with hitting the mid to high end, mainly mid-range GPU price range. Now, all this to say, if they can nail the price point and the performance matches the price point or goes beyond expectations of the performance for the price they're giving you, if they can nail those two things, price point and performance, people will stop caring more about the 5080 overpricedness or the 5090 overpricedness, because they actually back to their roots of what they're known for, which is a budget price performance option over the reigning over expensive company that's NVIDIA. But that's just speculation. They claim that they're going to wait till later on in the year, on the first half, to have a specifically dedicated, maybe press event for just RDNA4 to try to back up their excuse of, oh, we didn't have time because we had to talk about AI, which I'm not buying. A lot of us are not buying that excuse. A lot of people like me are kind of had suspicions that maybe they're not confident this time around. But then again, they do have articles out right now since their keynote that saying that AMD themselves said that they're mainly focusing on, yes, getting back market share, but they're saying their GPUs for this gen are going to focus mainly on efficiency. Similar spiel that they did for the 9000 series CPUs non-X3D, that they said they were mainly focused on efficiency. So that's still left to be seen. We didn't even have any first-party benchmarks to go by, so we're kind of left in the dark. No hard details outside of their mobile GPUs and APUs, and one brief mention of the 16-core X3D chip. So I guess I'm still cautiously optimistic, but this kind of movement and suspiciousness kind of makes me and a lot of others worry that maybe either one, they're not confident, two, that they think they have it priced too much, or three, they're actually don't just give up and throw in the towel and say, oh, we'll release them when we feel like, and oh well. So we'll still have to see what they have to say and what they have to present, because we didn't get no meat and potatoes for their keynote. And on top of that, it was quite the boring keynote, unlike their historical events. So that was kind of a letdown. I'm really hoping that now that they see the pricing that NVIDIA has, they're going to match not just a $20 or $50 drop from NVIDIA's competing pricing or their GPUs, but I'm really hoping that they actually lock in and go back to the roots and do very good on pricing and very good on performance, and not just talk how they overhype stuff like they did in the past, and then people get disappointed because they overhype. So maybe it could be, I guess that's a silver lining. They didn't boldly say the performance numbers that they usually do for RDNA4. So I'm hoping that this means that either they're confident or that they really were indeed sandbagging and just waiting to see what their competitor has to offer price and performance wise. We'll see what they have to show. Let me know down below if you think they're hiding because they're scared, because they think they're not confident in their new next gen products, or you think it was just a sandbag and they were just waiting to see NVIDIA, since NVIDIA's going after them, and see how they're pricing their stuff. Y'all let me know what you think in the comments below. Are you going to wait to see what they and Intel have to offer on the GPU side, or are you going to just sell your organs and buy NVIDIA's overpriced stuff? Let me know in the comments below. Until then, this is your boy Lock Tech. More CS coming to you soon. Signing out.